Well, Arteta's appreciation for Joao Cancelo has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Huge story being reported by a tier 1 journalist. You know him. He's a transfer expert that brings out first tier source information about the transfer news and information. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. We are back with the Arsenal News Show. From the transfer news show, we talked about Messi, talked about Joao Felix, we talked about Karim Benzema. Here we come to discuss a little bit about Joao Cancelo to Arsenal. And then in the mixture, it's Gabriel Jesus has something to say about the Arsenal season and how they're going to have to really perform. Then lastly, there is a young player coming in from Brazil who goes by the names of Matheus França. Fabrizio Romano is going to have to offer a huge update as far as his transfer to Arsenal is concerned. I think we did that story like 3 days ago. Sources from Brazil were hitting that Arsenal have gone ahead to make a bid and was rejected, but Fabrizio Romano has a different kind of story altogether, and that's why we are a news oriented YouTube channel. You know, we react to news as it comes in through, because you never know who is saying who, and these other third and second tier journalists have always gone ahead to give us stories that everyone has gone ahead to capitalize on and refer to as concrete. Now, you remember the story of Saja Boy, that right back of Galatasaray who plays in Turkey. It was broken by a journalist in Turkey. Then Fabrizio Romano came out and really said, yeah, Arsenal are interested in the player. Even this other story has been confirmed as by Fabrizio Romano that there is interest registered by Arsenal in the player. But something that was reported earlier has not yet happened. So let's wait and see how that is going to pan out. Let's start off with Joao Cancelo, as Fabrizio Romano had to say the following: that from what I understand, Arsenal have an interest in Joao Cancelo. He's one of the players they appreciate. At the moment, it's not a negotiation yet. We have to see how these discussions between Man City and Chelsea could be after Zinchenko and Jesus. Now, Arsenal is really a very good team. Arteta has gone ahead to really register interest in Joao Cancelo. He appreciates the player because of his experience, the winning mentality, and obviously, to me, he's one of the best fullbacks in the world. It's really hard to find a fullback who really plays the left and right back positions of the fullback almost the same. When he plays as a right back, he is exquisite. When he's played as a left back, he is magnificent and exceptional. That is Joao Cancelo for you. So I think that's the reason as to why Mikel Arteta appreciates him as a player. And I think he is really one of those players that he's looking at to bring in at Arsenal as the right back of Arsenal next season. But Fabrizio Romano has hinted on something important that many Arsenal fans have not yet given a go. It's all about we have to see how the discussions between Arsenal and Man City could be after Jesus and Zinchenko transfers that happened in the summer of last year. That is really so much important because the board of Man City interrogated Pep Guardiola on handing Zinchenko and Jesus to Arsenal, to an extent that they almost lost the trophy to Arsenal, as Arsenal topped the league for close to, was it 148 days? You know, those are the days that Arsenal topped the league for, and Man City were really so much perturbed by Arsenal being on top after selling them two players, that is Zinchenko and Jesus. So that's why Fabrizio Romano is hinting on the discussions between these two clubs. Whether City will be willing to sell the player to Arsenal, that is an argument for another day that we cannot really come out and get an ultimate decision onto that right now, because the decisions have not yet been made. Arsenal have not made a bid, you know, because the player is valued at 75 million euros. That is like 63 million pounds for Arsenal. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But Fabrizio told us that Mikel Arteta appreciates the player in the names of Joao Cancelo. Then Fabrizio continued and said, but for sure, Arsenal appreciate Cancelo, and he's one of the players they like. Bayern are not triggering Cancelo's clause. The player will formally return to City and then a decision will be made. From what I understand, City are prepared to let Cancelo leave. So, two huge boosts in for you, especially if at all you are an Arsenal fan watching in this channel or any other team that you support that has interest in Joao Cancelo, like Barcelona. You have every reason to jubilate. Why? Bayern Munich are not triggering the clause of 70 million euros that Man City had put in when they signed him on loan in the January transfer window. You know, it was not mandatory, it was optional, and Bayern Munich have decided not to sign Joao Cancelo. You know, Bayern Munich have got other two right backs. There is Pavard, whose contract is running out next year, and the other one is is it Mazrui, you know, the Moroccan right back that plays into that position. So they brought in Joao Cancelo on loan because I think Mazrui was having a long-term injury, and that's why they brought in Joao Cancelo. But the other boost is all about Man City wanting the player to leave. Pep Guardiola doesn't want him to be here at the club of Man City, and he believes that he will distort the dressing room as he had started to do that at the beginning or at the resumption of the season when the World Cup had just ended, because he had dropped down into the pecking order and he started to distort the dressing room. That is something that Arsenal really have to look at. But Joao Cancelo is a very, 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 very good player. And I want to confirm to you that he's really one of those players that you reckon with to come in through and obviously get the job done and dusted at Arsenal at the right back position. You know, you are signing 2-in-1. If at all you want to bench Zinchenko, you can play Joao Cancelo off the left back. And if at all you want to really bench Ben White or switch Ben White into the central defense, you can find Joao Cancelo played as a right back. Very good player who can really get you close to 20 goal involvements a season. He can register close to 8 goals and 12 assists coming in from his wide play of the full back position. That's something from the flying right and left back of Man City, Joao Cancelo, and that's why Arsenal are really important, are really wanting to sign the player. Then Fabrizio Romano concluded and said for City it's important to find someone, to find some club for Cancelo, to find a solution for the players because they are happy with the full-back situation they have. Barcelona have an interest, but it depends on the financial situation. This is not clear yet at Barcelona. So, Joao Cancelo is a player City want to move on. And another huge uplift for Arsenal on Joao Cancelo, that Barcelona is another team remaining in the race to sign Joao Cancelo because Bayern Munich is out and they don't want to sign the player. So, if Barcelona is out of the race also because they are really having huge financial constrictions, and Xavi's gonna hate to come out and really say that they are negotiating a deal to get Cancelo on in January transfer window, but Man City never wanted to really give Joao Cancelo to Barcelona, then Arsenal is the only team that's going to be left in the rest. Even if City don't want to sell the player, they'll end up selling the player to Arsenal. Why? Arsenal is the only preferred buyer that is willing to pay the amount of money that they want. So that is something huge that's going to have to develop for Arsenal. That means they might find themselves alone into the Joao Cancelo race and being the only team to go on and obviously pay that huge amount of money. When you look at a team like PSG, I think they cannot go in for Joao Cancelo. Why? Full back position they're having Hakimi, great, world class, and Nuno Mendes, left back, looking really great. So I don't see that deal coming to happen as far as him to PSG is concerned, meaning that Arsenal is going to be the only team left in the transfer race to get Joao Cancelo, and that really plays in the favor of Arsenal. However much City doesn't want to sell the player, they have to sell him to Arsenal, as Mikel Arteta knew this player for long. He was playing for City as Mikel Arteta was really managing Joao Cancelo. So that's the first story that we had to go on and really tackle onto this channel. And obviously another story has been put about Joao Cancelo by Plenty Gold, you know, and Fabrizio Romano quoted hit that it's decided Joao Cancelo will leave Bayern Leverkusen. Will leave Bayern Munich, confirmed. They won't trigger the option to buy. So it shows you that Arsenal is really having a huge step ahead of all the teams that were interested in the player, as for them, money is not their problem. They are willing to go on and spend huge for Joao Cancelo transfer to London Conley and Emirates. Now, let's go to Matheus França. Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and really issued us an update about this young Brazilian player. He also does that. More on Arsenal and Matheus França links. No proposal. Bid or formal talks at this stage. He's one of the talents now monitored by the club in Brazil. No negotiations. Newcastle had a 20 million bid turned down by Flamengo in January. There are 3 more clubs in the race. So he's confirming to us that Arsenal are really interested in the player known as Matheus França, who plays as a left forward and right forward. Very good, and I like the way he really finishes, especially when he's getting that ball at the back of the net. Newcastle's bid was turned down in the January transfer window of 20 million euros, and obviously they saw themselves in a position of really trying to go out and really target him for the summer. Now, it's been confirmed to us that there are 3 more clubs in this race. 3 more clubs in this race of Matheus França. Arsenal is one of those. They are monitoring the player, but no bid has been submitted yet. So I think now we all understand that Arsenal is really in for this forward. You know, he's really great. Quick foot, pace, physically tailor-made for the Premier League, and I think Arsenal fans are going to be excited if at all they land such a signing. You know, sometimes it's always to go in for the likes of Joao Cancelo, Declan Rice, Moise Caicedo, and very many others, and at least you spice it up a little bit with some young talent, because you never know what young talent is going to become. If you're asked that, how much would Arsenal spend to be buying Bukayo Saka as a finished article, Gabriel Martinelli as a finished article, Emily Smith-Rowe as a finished article, Reece Nelson, you know? So sometimes you save money. You save money by really getting these players when they are still young, because they turn out to be good. When they turn out to be good, you would have gone ahead to make a very huge saving, because Arsenal's season has seen some of its academic graduates from Hell End come up and raise up to the occasion, and they've gone ahead to really score very many goals and put Arsenal to where they are supposed to be. So that's it about Matheus França. Arsenal are monitoring the situation, and Edu is one of the elite people that you will reckon with when it comes to the Brazilian market. He has a lot of scouts that's hired, and he's scouting him, and a decision is going to be made by Arsenal as soon as possible. If at all these signings to be completed, I think to be completed around August there, even when the season has started, because Arsenal want to get every penny they have to spend it on people like Declan Rice, Mason Mount, Moise Caicedo, and who else? This other guy, Diaby Moussa, you know? So that is what Arsenal is all about right about now. And lastly, Jesus has gone ahead and spoken out about how the season was for Arsenal. He said, "It was good. Unfortunately, we didn't win a trophy, which was our target, but I think we had a good season. Very good. We are building a good atmosphere from inside and outside. The fans coming with us, always supporting and pushing us." So he's saying that Arsenal has had a good season. Obviously, Arsenal had a very good season, but they never won the trophy. That was a dream for the players, spearheaded by Zinchenko and Jesus. But for the board, they only wanted to qualify for the Champions League. And I think they went ahead to achieve exactly what they wanted. And Jesus is one of the proud people that's gone ahead to score 11 goals and put up 6 assists, having 17 goal involvements in his first debut season of Arsenal. So guys, your thoughts on to Arteta appreciating Joao Cancelo, and he's interested in getting him at Arsenal, are welcome in the comment section below. What do you think about Matheus França? Should Arsenal break the bank and obviously sign the player? Because as it stands, it looks like to get him on, you need to pay more than 20 million euros. And lastly, Jesus' quotes and summarizing Arsenal's season in a nutshell. What do you make about him? I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Rokani David remains my name. I'm out.